Dad, you think we can stop there?
Really, Michael?
Yes, girl, trust me. I heard they have free Wi-Fi and they have a big pool and the food is super delicious.
Wow, Michael, you had me at free Wi-Fi.
Okay, kids, stop the fussing. I think me and her mom can use some refreshments. Let's check it out.
Visit Friends of Friends at 46 Dewdrop Estate. Follow the signs from mile 11.5 Northern Highway. Friends of Friends Outback, a walking piece of heaven.
Hey, I bring your favorite for your lunch. I shared me.
Alright, thanks, but I'm really hungry right now.
You look frustrated. What going on?
I don't know, P. They're far and I got a lot of bills to pay right now.
I might have a solution that can help you out.
Well, you must have got direct line to Jesus then, because this one, yeah, miracle.
Not quite, but I know First Stop Speedy Money.
Well, please tell me about that.
First Stop Speedy Money is a pawn shop that is designed to help you on days just like this.
Really?
Yes, you know they pawn old jewelry, bracelet, earring, they even do pawn and drive. This means you have full use of your vehicle and still get money.
Sure, you make it so easy?
It is easy.
Hey, yo.
Let's go check it out right
Well,
now.
Visit First Stop Speedy Money at Capital Garden Plaza on Constitution Drive in Belmopan or at 10 King Street in Belize City.
At WestTrack Belize City, we are looking to help you save both your time and money. We've also improved our stock levels to ensure we have everything you might need for your automotive or agricultural needs. Additionally, WestTrack has added heavy-duty and industrial parts to keep your trucks and equipment running. At WestTrack Belize City, we understand that your time is important, so we want to bring our services to you at your convenience. Now you can simply send us a message on WhatsApp or Facebook and we will be right there to help with any questions you may have.
This morning our guest is somebody that's continuously in the eyes of the public. Sometimes because we place her there and sometimes because she chooses to place herself there. This morning our guest is Marisa Alamilla. Marisa is going to share her story with us this morning, starting from the beginning. And when I say the beginning, I mean where she grew up, how she grew up, and what landed her in the position that she is in today. Marisa, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Rhonda. I'm good.
Marisa, thank you for agreeing to be a part of this interview this morning. I fully appreciate it. I think when we decided that Marisa will be a guest, I chose you for the fact that I want people to see that they can live their truth without being shy or complacent. I think you are an example of that. The Marisa I see on Facebook is the Marisa I see on the road, is the Marisa I see when there is a child's graduation. She's the same person.
Right.
Sometimes a little bit more tame than others, but she's essentially the same person.
Yes.
So for that, I think it is important for people to understand who they are and so they can be themselves consistently. I think that's who you are. Tell us a little bit about Marisa Alamilla. Where did she grow up?
I grew up in Belize City. That's what a lot of people don't understand, that I actually grew up in Belize City for most of my younger years. And then my dad was transferred to Belmopan when Belmopan was just becoming Belmopan. And so I ended up in Belmopan for my what is considered primary school years. So from like standard 1 till standard 6, I was in Belmopan. And then my dad wouldn't allow us to go to comprehensive school because it was co-ed and because he was not satisfied that we would get the best education there. So then I had to commute to St. Catherine's, and when that became too difficult, I stayed with my grandmother and continued into St. Catherine's. Just out of St. Catherine's, I got married. Like I graduated June and I was married by November, October, something like that.
Wait, Let's slow down a little. Are you an only child? Do you have siblings?
No, I'm four.
You're the
I'm
first
one
of
of four.
Where do you place in the one?
I'm the oldest.
You're the first of four.
I'm the first of four. So I'm the child that they tested everything on. And I was the most rebellious child. So I wasn't an easy child at all. I pushed the envelope. Even from as a child, I pushed the envelope.
Why do you think that was so?
I don't know. I've always had that nature that whenever people tell me no, you have to have a good reason for your no. And then my dad used to go, you don't have to obey me, but if you don't, there's consequences to not obeying. And so he taught us that as long as we're willing to live with the consequences, then we could just do
anything.
Yeah.
Because anything can be a consequence.
Yes, but then there were consequences.
Before I ask you what is the biggest consequence of one of the actions that you made, I will ask, how does a girl graduate in June and not find a boyfriend but a husband by December?
I don't think I went looking, but like I said, I was very rebellious, and my dad and I had difficult years in my teenage years. My dad was not shy when it came to hitting, so if you wouldn't listen, you're gonna get hit. And so I went through those years with my dad where if I don't listen, I'm gonna get hit.
Even as a young adult, you were still being hit?
I think my dad hit me up to the point where I was 23 with a daughter and son. And I don't even test my dad now at 40, almost 47. I wouldn't test my dad. Not because my dad will tell you, you can be 50, you're his child. If you do something, he is going to discipline. So I don't push my dad that way. If my dad, when I stay over at my parents and I'm in my 40s, like I said, my dad's rule is that we have to be in the house before a certain time. I'm in the house at that time. If I do not want that rule, then I need to afford a hotel room or stay somewhere else. But if I'm staying at my dad's house, I gotta be in at the time he says I gotta be in.
And I can respect that. But do you believe that it is because of that kind of governance, for lack of a better term, that you not only dated the boy, but you decided to marry him?
Yes. I wanted to be out. And to be really honest with you, I think that was the major reason why it failed, because I left my home thinking that, and I grew up in a great home. I grew up watching my dad be a provider, be everything in a house. We never knew what it was to not have both parents, which was, for us, we thought that was the norm. We thought everybody had both parents, and everybody's dad was like my dad, who made you breakfast, who took you to school, who cooked for you if your mom is sick, who picked you up at school, who did everything, So I thought all men were like that. So my big shock was when I was like, oh, not everybody is like this, and not everybody lives like this. My dad provided and paid all the bills, and I thought all men did that. That was just like...
So when you were 17, you were thinking, I will get a younger, smarter, happier version than
Actually,
my dad?
my husband was 11 years my senior at the time. So I just thought I was going to get another dad. I mean, hey, I'm moving from here, and it's just going to have these other extra benefits that were going to be fun benefits. But it didn't work that way. That's not the way it worked.
So that happened, and then it ended 5 years later?
Yes, it ended. I left. I went to the States for a little bit, and I quickly realized that the States fever that everybody has, I don't have that fever. I love home. I don't want to be anywhere else but home. I don't like the coldness of America at all, and I don't like shopping. I'm not your regular woman. I don't like purses. I'm very simple.
What was it like at maybe 23 and 2 children and on your own?
Very rough, extremely rough. At 23 with 2 children, I didn't have a problem with the children per se or being a mom. That came naturally to us because I guess how my grandparents and my parents were both parts of my life, and I never saw them complain about being parents. So I just thought that, things will just happen and you just have to deal with them. I didn't have a close relationship at that point with my parents. Not that even if I did, they would uphold you. My dad is straight. My dad is like, you made them, you deal with them. We don't do babysitting duties here. We don't do daycare here. We don't know. So you figure it out. We're like for high and by, and that's it. That's
Children
how.
come here to visit, not
Yes,
to live.
right, and very short visits. So you had to take on the consequences.
Marisa, listening to your story so far, in my opinion, it seemed that you did not have much of an opportunity, maybe by your own choice or otherwise, to be a young adult. You went from the home to a parent.
Straight, yeah.
And once you're a parent, that changes your life
Right.
forever, permanently.
Right.
So you didn't get enough, I wouldn't say enough, but you didn't get a lot of opportunities to just be. You always had responsibilities, but not only responsibilities, you always had somebody over you, for lack of a better term, because when it wasn't your dad, it
Was a husband.
was a husband, and then kids. So you never got, and I will use the term loosely and you can correct me, freedom.
Right.
You were always under the gear, you were always grinding.
Right.
Looking back now, if you had to do it all over again, would you take the same path, and if so, why?
Yes, I would. And the reason being is that who you see now and who you've seen over the years is a consequence of all those actions. I never became who I was without those things in my life. If I had the freedom, if I had the no mistakes, even if I did different things, different mistakes, it would be a different person. I like me. I love me now. I love who I am. I love my children. I didn't always have the easiest path, but I did it my way. And for me, that's like the best.
Before we go to the break, I will say that in April 1998, your life took a very challenging path. You were raped in 1998.
Yes.
When we come back, we will discuss that event. We're going to take a break and be back.
Hey, I bring your favorite for your lunch. For sharing me.
Alright, thanks, but I'm really hungry right now.
You look frustrated. What going on?
I don't pay that far, and I got a lot of bills to pay right now.
I might have a solution that can help you out.
Well, you must have got directly into Jesus then, because this one, yeah, miracle.
Not quite. But I know First Stop Speedy Money.
Well, please tell me about that.
First Stop Speedy Money is a pawn shop that is designed to help you on days just like this.
Really?
Yes, they pawn gold jewelry, bracelet, earring, they even do pawn and drive. This means you have full use of your vehicle and still get money.
Joe, you make it so easy?
It is easy.
Hey, yo.
Let's go check it out right now.
Visit First Stop Speedy Money at Capital Garden Plaza on Constitution Drive in Belmopan or at 10 King Street in Belize City.
Dad, you think we can stop there?
Really, Michael?
Yes, girl, trust me. I heard they have free Wi-Fi and they have a big pool and the food is super delicious.
Wow, Michael, you had me at free Wi-Fi.
Okay, kids, stop the fussing. I think me and her mom can use some refreshments. Let's check it out.
Visit Friends of Friends at 46 Dewdrop Estate. Follow the signs from mile 11.5 Northern Highway. Friends of Friends Outback, a walking piece of heaven.
Cheers to your big day. Choose Big products. They are biodegradable and available countrywide. Big,
Distributed exclusively by Emilio Ahmad and Sons Limited.
So nice, Caribbean pride. Need you in my life, Caribbean pride. So nice, 100% Belizean, 100% pure and natural. Yeah, for the young and the old, for the rich and the poor, we drinking Caribbean pride. Yeah, for the hot and the cold, so me want a little more, and me not tell no lie. So nice, Caribbean pride. Need you in my life, Caribbean pride. So nice. Well, alright, tell them we drinking Caribbean pride. Orange juice or get the grapefruit. Sweet and unsweet and you can choose. Get the apple, the pineapple, the fruit punch, just pop the bottle. Yeah, quality in every sip. Me tell you how me taste the pride in every drip. Yeah, Caribbean pride #1. Tell them we drinking Caribbean pride.
Hi, I am Manolo Owen.
I'm Ben Reimer.
Hi, I'm Christian Deeds. We're from Excel Construction.
Stained concrete is one of the most popular applications for transforming concrete slabs.
Designers and builders are truly drawn to stained concrete because of the unique outcome that can be achieved.
Aside from the stunning beauty of stained concrete is its invulnerability to tearing, gouging, mold, and water damage.
Properly sealed and maintained, stained concrete will last decades and rarely needs replacement.
Let us beautify your space with a solution that's low maintenance, cost-effective, and long-lasting.
Excel Construction. Visit them in Spanish Lookout or give them a call at 823-0244. Excel Construction, building a more beautiful Belize.
Here at Coop Sheet Metal, we believe our job is very essential in serving our customers. And that is just one reason why visiting us is an experience to be remembered.
Here at Coop Sheet Metal, we have a reliable fleet of trucks. We specialize in countrywide delivery of all our material.
Coop Sheet Metal is a family business that was started by my grandfather, who even had many of his machines hand-built decades ago to make our products the most reliable in Belize. Come visit us at our new facility on Iguana Creek Road, just past the Belize River leading to Spanish Lookout.
New Buildings Limited is the company of choice when it comes to design, fabricating, and erection of wide-span metal buildings in Belize. At New Buildings, we have a team of well-trained professionals that can produce the most innovative and durable metal structures. Be it domestic or industrial buildings, we can get it done for you. We have put together some of the most outstanding metal structures in the country. We also do estimates and consulting. Visit New Buildings in Spanish Lookout or give them a call at 631-8723 or 610-5185. New Buildings Limited, the experts when it comes to metal structures in Belize. P-Tech has been in Belize now for more than 6 years. We specialize in residential and industrial high-quality glass windows and doors.
I'm Melvin Reimer from Discount Auto Sales. I chose P-Tech windows because I'm quite impressed about the way they're manufactured. These are double pane glasses. They're called low E. That keeps out a lot of the heat.
Check us out at p-tek.com or give us a call at 671-3842. P-Tech Windows and Doors, a leader in its class.
Me and my Marie shops in Lake.
Me and my Marie Sharp in Indiana.
I'm in Rhonda Beach, California with my Marie Sharp.
Me and my Marie shops in Kabul, Afghanistan.
Me and my Marie shop that are Hertfordshire, England.
Me and my Marie shops in Taipei, Taiwan.
Marie Sharp, world-class products produced in Belize.
It's me, your Uncle Cooper, and this is a Cooper tire. Great tire. Now, it's not gonna cook you a pot roast, but it will stop when you hit the brakes. And these truck tires can stop on average 10 feet shorter than other tires on a wet road. See, the trick is in the grip, and these tires grip like my handshake. Look, I'm your uncle. I love you. I want you to stop when you need to. Doesn't matter if it's for a red light or a duckling. So go with the Coopers. Cooper! And never start something you can't stop.
Welcome back to Morning Matters. Before we ended the first segment, we spoke about Marisa being raped. 1998 would have been about 22 years ago.
Yes.
Marisa, I can't imagine that event happening to anybody. What was it like after that event for you?
For the first 4 days, you're going through how the hell it happened. Like, what did you do that caused it to happen? But I was in my house, and I remember talking to myself going, you were in your house, you were wearing clothes, you don't even know this person, you don't even know how they got in your house, none of it. So I could not blame myself in any way, but I was still trying to figure out, did I ever see him? Did I ever smile with him? Belize is small, and within the 4 days I found out he lived up my street. So I was thinking, was I mean? Did I do anything that would have aggravated this situation? And then finding out that none of it would have made a difference was a little bit of peace, because nothing I did made this happen to me.
Nothing you could ever make that happen.
Yes. So, but being somebody who speaks to rape victims quite a bit now, and who people reach out to because of how vocal I am about it, I realize that there are lots of women and young girls who somehow always try to, some of being raped, they have some guilt. And it's, nobody can tell you don't have guilt. No matter how much they tell you you have no fault, in your mind, you try to think about if you're sure you don't have any fault. And so I could have gotten to the point where I had no fault. I don't know how to comfort those that can't get to that point, because they were somewhere they shouldn't have been, or maybe they said, yes, I will go with you, but then that was where the only yes that was yes. Or those who are raped during dates, or when women have left a man and then
he comes back.
Yes, he comes back, and they allowed him in the house, but they didn't allow him in the house for the purpose of sex, and so then that is still rape. So there are so many situations where women get raped, and so many situations where, unlike me, they were not able to reach that place where there is no guilt for what happened. 1. 2, I came out right away. As it happened, I came out. I was not hiding it.
Did you have any difficulty in coming out?
No, I was running in politics at the time. There was no choice. My dad says, you do something, you have consequences. I ran in politics, that was the consequence. The consequence is that I can't shy away from what is going to happen, so I have to do it. So I remember crying, and my dad looking at me and going, I told you not to come home, I told you not to run, I told you not to be in the public. You did it, now you need to deal with this. So you stop your crying, you have a speech to deliver for Derek Aikman, and you're going to write that speech and you're going to deliver it.
What, I mean, I can't imagine going through something so life-changing and then having to deal with other things. What about me? Like weren't you
don't have the time to think about me.
Time.
No, because you make choices. Choices.
But you did not choose that.
You didn't choose that, but you chose a path that puts you where you are in the limelight. You are going to be a leader of women. While I would never run in politics on a platform of me being a woman, because I run to lead. I don't run as a woman. And I hate when anybody tells me they want you there because you're Hispanic or because you're a woman or because of this. I'm not a demographic, and I don't want to be. I'm a person. So I ran as a person. I ran to lead. You're leading women. You can't falter at that point. You can't bend. You can't show weakness at that point.
But it's not weakness. It is a time when Marisa needs the depending on how you look at it, to deal with herself. You have a part of you that was you, a whole of you that was violated.
Yeah, I can't change that.
And you need to address that before you can go out and deal with the other people. One may say, no?
I'm built different. I'm built I'm built tough, I guess. I'm built that when I make a decision, I've made lots of decisions that have cost me. Lots. Being raped was like a minimal thing in my life when I think about it.
And correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think that your decision contributed to the fact that you were raped.
Yeah, it did.
I think, so I don't, and while you say you may not have guilt, I believe that you feel, based on this conversation, some guilt, and I think you're doing yourself an injustice. There's no way that you going in politics is any justification in any small way that something this grave should have happened to you.
Agreed, but I agree with you there. My thing is that when we make a decision that leads to any issues, my way to deal with things is that I need to lead. That is the choice I made, to lead. I cannot ask women to do something I'm not able to do. As a leader, if I tell you, you can be a single mother, it's because I've done it.
I understand.
If I tell you, you can walk away from a domestic violence situation, it's because I've done it. If I tell you, this is the way we're going to deal with rape, I want you to go to the police, I want you to go through all the disgusting examinations, I want you to deal with people who won't understand, I want you to go to the grocery store and not understand why people are looking at you, I want you to be able to deal with the media. I need to have done it to know what you're gonna go through.
No, I'm not saying that you should not have done that part of it. You need to do that. That is the only way that the perpetrator can be called out and punished. Do you think that you would have had the same mindset had you not been in politics at the time and the event happened?
Yes, because I was already in politics before. I was already known. I am who I am. I can't change that. I had already made an impression that when I get out, it's for a fight. So there's no not fighting. If you have a fight, you gotta do the fight. You don't get in the ring unless you're willing to fight.
How did that event change your life?
I don't, honestly, Rhonda, I can't tell you it changed my life because I didn't dwell on it. I still don't dwell on it. He's dead and I don't dwell on it. He died this year, February. And I remember getting the call that he died and I didn't even have an emotion about it, you know? I don't feel like I sit around going, oh my God, Marisa get raped. And I never did it, even when I was in that position. And I think that made a lot of people not believe me. I remember doing Straight Talk with Godwin, I think a week or two after I got raped, and a lot of people were like, no man, that not happen to she, because you know, they sit down on TV and do an interview after this. Or I remember delivering my speech at Derek Aikman's convention, and I remember looking at the crowd and everybody, including Derek Aikman, was crying, and I'm looking at them like, why are you people crying? Let's just do this, you know, we have to do this. And I did my speech and I left, and I remember people hugging me and like almost feeling pity. And
I don't know that it is pity that they feel, because I sit here and I feel something, but it's not pity. You don't need pity. I feel maybe compassion.
Probably.
Maybe I think that's what the people felt, and I think that when certain things happen in people's lives, the public perhaps would say, what would I do if that was me? Because we can't imagine. The people that have never experienced it cannot imagine how they will handle it. And when they see somebody that handles it in a way that they are not expecting, it brings question to themselves. And most people would handle it differently.
I get that.
Do you believe that maybe as much as you say that you have dealt with it, you really have not dealt with it yet?
No, I actually think I have dealt with it. I don't know what people, and I always tell people who get raped this: there is no book or manual on how you react to what happens to you, or how you should behave when you get raped. There is no manual that can tell you that. However you feel comfortable is how you behave. So if you feel like curling up in a corner and crying for all year, then that's how you behave. That is not how I behave.
How did you behave?
I cried for 4 days and then I stopped and didn't cry again.
That's it?
That's it.
You never look back?
No. It's already done. You can't change it.
Did it affect your life?
Yes. Physically, it affected my life because my attacker inserted a knife inside of me. And because of that, he caused wounds to the inside of my body. I had to do an acid treatment, which made me have to lose a lot of weight because it's almost like a cancer treatment, that they seal the cuts inside of you. And so I went from a solid 130 pounds to 98 pounds by December of that year. And so I was really, really skinny. And we had lost the elections in August. So that the added pressure of having to now be out of a job, be living in a vehicle because I lost everything, and then dealing with a rape case, that took its toll. But the rape itself, I think being where I was politically and taking the licks politically was worse than even the rape, if I have to compare. That was more life-changing than the rape, for me.
Gonna take a break and be back.
Me and my Marie shops in Lake.
Me and my Marisa in Indiana.
I'm in Rhonda Beach, California with my Marie Sharp.
Me and my Marisa in Kabul, Afghanistan.
Me and my Marie shop did a Hertfordshire, England.
Me and my Marie Sharps in Taipei, Taiwan.
Marie Sharp, world-class products produced in Belize.
P-Tech has been in Belize now for more than 6 years. We specialize in residential and industrial high-quality glass windows and doors.
I'm Melvin Reimer from Discount Auto Sales. I chose P-Tech windows because I'm quite impressed about the way they're manufactured. These are double pane glasses. They're called low E. That keeps out a lot of the heat.
Check us out at p-tek.com or give us a call at 671-3842. P-Tech Windows and Doors, a leader in its class. New Buildings Limited is the company of choice when it comes to design, fabricating, and erection of wide-span metal buildings in Belize. At New Buildings, we have a team of well-trained professionals that can produce the most innovative and durable metal structures. Be it domestic or industrial buildings, we can get it done for you. We have put together some of the most outstanding metal structures in the country. We also do estimates and consulting. Visit New Buildings in Spanish Lookout or give them a call at 631-8723 or 610-5185. New Buildings Limited, the experts when it comes to metal structures in Belize.
I choose Happy Cow cheese because of its perfect portion sizes, and I can travel with it.
Because it's nice and soft and creamy, and it goes smooth on your bread.
I choose Happy Cow cheese because I eat it with my beans. I eat it with my fried jack. And you know why? because it's nice. Most of all, when you're on the plane, you know they only give you some crackers and you could just take one out and enjoy it with Happy Cow cheese.
I'm Miss Baker, and I choose Happy Cow cheese because it goes well with all the stuff I bake.
Happy Cow cheese. Look for it in a store near you. Distributed in Belize exclusively by Emilio Ahmad and Sons Limited.
Dad, you think we can stop there?
Really, Michael?
Yes, girl, trust me. I heard they have free Wi-Fi and they have a big pool and the food is super delicious.
Wow, Michael, you had me at free Wi-Fi.
Okay, kids, stop the fussing. I think me and her mom can use some refreshments. Let's check it out.
Visit Friends of Friends at 46 Dewdrop Estate. Follow the signs from mile 11.5 Northern Highway. Friends of Friends Outback, a walking piece of heaven.
Hey, I bring your favorite for your lunch. I'll share me.
Alright, thanks, but I'm really hungry right now.
You look frustrated. What going on?
I don't know, Peter. They're far and I got a lot of bills to pay right now.
I might have a solution that can help you out.
Well, you must have gone directly into Jesus then, because this one, yeah, miracle.
Not quite, but I know First Stop Speedy Money.
Well, please tell me about that.
First Stop Speedy Money is a pawn shop that is designed to help you on days just like this.
Really?
Yes, you know they pawn gold jewelry, bracelet, earring, they even do pawn and drive. This means you have full use of your vehicle and still get money.
Sure, you make it so easy?
It is easy.
Hey, yo.
Let's go check it out right now.
Visit First Stop Speedy Money at Capital Garden Plaza on Constitution Drive in Belmopan or at 10 King Street in Belize City.
Hi, I am Menno Lowen.
I'm Ben Reimer.
Hi, I'm Crichton. We're from Excel Construction.
Stained concrete is one of the most popular applications for transforming concrete slabs.
Designers and builders are truly drawn to stained concrete because of the unique outcome that can be achieved.
Aside from the stunning beauty of stained concrete is its invulnerability to tearing, gouging, mold, and water damage.
Properly sealed and maintained, stained concrete will last decades and rarely needs replacement.
Let us beautify your space with a solution that's low maintenance, cost-effective, and long-lasting.
Excel Construction. Visit them in Spanish Lookout or give them a call at 823-0244. Excel Construction. Building a more beautiful Belize.
So nice, Caribbean pride. Need you in my life, Caribbean pride. So nice, 100% Belizean, 100% pure and natural. Yeah, for the young and the old, for the rich and the poor, we drinking Caribbean pride. Yeah, for the hot and the cold, so me want a little more, and me not tell no lie. So nice, Caribbean pride. Need you in my life, Caribbean pride. So nice. Well, alright, tell them we drinking Caribbean pride. Orange juice or get the grapefruit. Sweet and unsweet and you can choose. Get the apple, the pineapple, the fruit punch, just pop the bottle. Yeah, quality in every sip. Me tell you how me taste the pride in every drip. Yeah, Caribbean pride #1. Tell them we drinking Caribbean pride.
It's me, your Uncle Cooper, and this is a Cooper tire. Great tire. Now, it's not gonna cook you a pot roast, but it will stop when you hit the brakes. And these truck tires can stop on average 10 feet shorter than other tires on a wet road. See, the trick is in the grip. And these tires grip like my handshake. Look, I'm your uncle. I love you. I want you to stop when you need to. Doesn't matter if it's for a red light or a duckling. So go with the Coopers. Cooper! And never start something you can't stop.
Welcome back to Morning Matters right here from Caribbean Motors in Belize City. Marisa Alamilla in with us sharing her story. I will not dwell too much on the incident because, like you say, because of how you prefer to handle it. It seemed that it's easier for you, for us.
But it's not easy for a lot of women.
Yes. And why? And based on the conversation, a lot of the women will not be able to handle it the way you handle it.
Oh no, for sure.
You know, and but you said one thing that I guess would allow them the freedom to be, or to think, or to be at peace in knowing that however they want to handle it is right for them.
Right, because it's not an easy situation. When you get raped, people go to police, report it. But you have to remember that you don't know which police you're going to meet. And not all police are able to handle the situations that have rape. I don't know that I've had the experience, even with people I've accompanied, when they call me and go, Marisa, I get raped, or Marisa, I'm in a DV situation, and can you go with me? that I've met the situation where the police has been able to handle the situation. So I'm there trying to pacify them because I know what they're going to face. I know it, and I know if they're not built like me, right there is where the problem is going to be. In my case, I had to sat beside my rapist for 2 hours before I even got any attention. And then until they recognized who I was, did I get attention. And when they realized who I was, then everything moved differently. So not to stray, but I can understand why the public feels that the police behave differently for different people.
It's not a farce, it's a fact.
I know it's not a farce. I know that it's the truth, but we don't change it. We don't change it by just ripping about it. We change it by, because all those police officers have Belizean mothers.
True.
So I think that the change has to happen with us as women. The people who criticize me the most are women. The people who attack me the most are women. The people who I don't relate to the most are women. So the truth is that as women, we need to change. And that took me a while. Who I am now in my 40s, I wasn't in my 20s. I was very, I don't want to say I lack compassion, but I didn't have the understanding I do at 40. Now when somebody comes to me with a problem, I handle it very differently from how I did at 20 or 25 or 30 even.
That's expected. Let's move away from that and move now into your, I would say, your parenting life. You have
my
three
favorite.
children, your favorite. You have 3 children, and you have managed to raise 3 productive children.
Yes.
Not only productive, but they're scholastically smart.
Yes.
How did you manage that?
I don't play.
What does that mean?
My children, from they were very young, were very disciplined. I keep telling people that you can't, my dad always told us, you don't bend a tree when it's grown. You bend it when it's small. So from my children were born, they had schedule and there's discipline. I am a big fan of discipline. I don't care who's against it. Discipline is the way you go through life and become successful.
Where children are concerned.
Where children are concerned, there are rules.
Yes.
And those rules have consequences. And it doesn't mean hitting. I think my oldest is 27. And if I've hit her 3 times in her life, if she's gotten a spanking 3 times in her life, that's a lot. My son is the same. My youngest only had a spanking twice. My oldest teases her and tells her she's just 19, so she's due for another one, and it's not past time yet that she could still get it. So she, it's just the way I am. But I always had to just speak to my kids, and my kids will listen. But in addition to that, I don't tell them to do something and I don't do it. They've always seen me work. They see me up at 6 in the morning. I work in their younger years, sometimes 17 hours a day. They see me work Monday to Sunday. They see me keep a clean home, and I expect them to keep their areas clean. They see me take baths. They see me be honest. They see me be brutally honest. So they understand that honesty is something that is very important in my world. So if you do something, you do it. Claim it and let's move from there. But don't come and lie to me, because that's when the problem will be, not before. Being honest is not my issue. My issue is when we lie and we feel that we will lie and get away with whatever it is, because all that happens is that we increase the consequences. Because one lie, you'll have to tell another lie and another lie. And my memory is bad. Even when I was young, my memory was bad. So I try not to lie because I'm going to get caught and I'm going to get my butt whooped. So I don't do that.
So now we are in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Lots has happened in the past 47 years in
Yes.
your life. And this is a new year, a new start for a lot of people, including us, both of us that sit in here. What do you do for a living, Marisa?
I do consultancy work right now. I'm actually looking into permanent jobs because the truth is, Rhonda, in the Belize we are in, we have permanent bills. We don't have we don't have consultancy bills. We have permanent bills, and so I've always found it easier to have my business on the side, but then have something that I can plan on and I can deal with. So I am actually in the process of doing some interviews to get something a little bit more permanent. I don't like winging stuff. That's one of my no-nos.
Marisa, you are very vocal. I mean, it seems that if you have something to say, you will say it. Do you feel that you suffer? No. Do you feel that you are misunderstood for that trait?
Yes. I think that, like I said, I'm attacked by women and men. Sometimes men will say I'm not fair to them. Women will say I'm not fair to them. I say I'm not fair to anybody, if that's the way you're going to look at it. I think that I look at a situation, and every single situation I look at, it's for that situation. I don't try to blanket stuff.
You were in a relationship that became violent.
Yes.
Was it violent in the beginning?
No, it's never violent in the beginning. And I always tell people that domestic violence, very rarely, even if people don't sit and think about the situation that they got into or got out of, never starts with hitting.
No.
Never does. By the time he hits you, you already have low self-esteem, you already questioning your worth, you are already at a place where you are starting to believe everything he says. Mentally you are not where you will pick up and leave. And a lot of people say, oh, well, Enoch, you just left. No, you can't. You're not at a place.
Society don't address the fact that there are a lot of women out there that are abusers, that are the instigator of the abuse. So, and a lot of men out there are incapable of the verbal abuse and the putting down of the man, and I'm not saying it is justifiable. I am saying his reaction to his abuse is to start abusing you. So when you walk in the house and you tell the man he's no good and he's stupid and all the worst things you can tell him, there will be a day, and some of you women still want to slap up the man.
Mm-hmm.
You can't slap up a man, you can't abuse a man. Nobody should be abusing anybody. That is my point.
That's my point too. It's a no matter what. I was in a situation where honestly I wasn't abusive verbally at all, but the truth is that I always say this, right? I don't need a man, I want a man. In the not needing of a man, I don't stroke egos, because I have a big ego myself. So if you can't stroke mine, I don't need to stroke yours. You deal with your ego, I deal with mine. I get with somebody and they need to be needed.
True.
And I don't need to need you. So I think it starts by them wanting to make me realize, no, you know all that, and you want need me. And so it gets almost unconsciously in a competition for them wanting to feel like a man and me not being able. And I'm not excusing nothing, but we have to look at that it's human beings we're dealing with, and as human beings we have reactions.
How long after the relationship started did it become abusive? And
when I got pregnant with my youngest, with my daughter.
What was the first form of abuse that you experienced?
Like I said, physically it got physical at the point when I got pregnant with my daughter, because he wasn't ready. He didn't want to have a child. I was in a relationship, so had no issue with it. It's not that I was trying to have a child. It just, the birth control failed and I'm pregnant. Now I didn't think about it because I'm like, okay, well, we've been together for 5 years. So what's the problem?
And so his
reaction was to choke me. So I remember thinking, man, I can't even believe this person that choked me, you know. And I remember my son coming in to the room because they hearing the scuffle. He came into the room and he looked at me and he goes, "Mommy, are you okay?" And I looked at him and I said, "Yes, I'm okay, you know." And it just escalated from there. It got worse and worse with every time. And I still stayed for 5 years.
What made you stay?
Because one time my oldest daughter looked at me and said, "You're so selfish." She says, because I wanted to leave. And she says, "You're so selfish." He said, "All you think about is yourself." He said, "Leave." And then Nena's going to grow without her dad too. And then I thought about it and I said, maybe I shouldn't have left my marriage so easily. And so I stayed thinking, maybe this will change, you know, maybe it's just during the pregnancy, maybe it'll change once the baby's born, and then after that maybe it'll change when the baby starts to walk, then maybe it'll change when she starts to get cute, and it didn't change.
What was the straw that broke the camel's back, like they say?
I was working at the prison, and my job allowed me lots of conversations with men at the prison, and I used to like talking to them and hearing why they're there. And in talking to them, I spoke with some guys who were there because they killed their stepfather. And they killed their stepfather because he was abusing their mom, and they were defending their mom. We had a huge fight one day and I got punched up, and my son looked at me. We were sitting on the stair.
How old was your boy then, more or less?
About 10 maybe, 10, 11. And we were sitting on the stair and he looked at me, he says, "You know what he doesn't realize? I'm gonna get big." And I was like, no way.
You not going to work or watch your son behind
My son not going to jail. I'm sorry, no. So that was a Thursday. I was out by the Monday.
You know, you seem to be able to think it through, for lack of a better term.
Yes.
You are able to reason with your situation on every level. And I think in doing so, you take risks. You take a lot of risks, because the last time he punched you up, he could have punched you out.
Yeah.
Right? But it was a risk that you were willing to take for whatever the reason is.
But I wouldn't tell people to take that risk.
I was just going to say, for a woman that's sitting out there, that's thinking, he is going to change. God knows he's going to change. He's going to change when I lose that 10 pounds, or when I get a better job, or when I get my degree, or when the baby comes, or when my daughter grows up and goes to college. He will change. What would you say to them?
He won't change. And for those who are having an affair with a man who they know is being abusive to the woman at home, I'd like to say to them too, he's not going to change for you either.
For the man that's out there that's being abused and is afraid to go to the police
I'll tell him to leave too.
What do you say to him? He's afraid because he's afraid of the ridicule that he feels that he may get.
The thing about it is this, and you're right, the DV department and the police is not sensitive to either side of the equation, nor the women nor the men.
They're not sensitive to the topic.
Right, period. So he will receive the same ridicule as a woman would receive. It's just that in his case, he's a man, so his ego is set up differently. I fight all the time about the equality, because I don't want to be equal to a man. I'm different from a man. I may want you to respect me the same, But I also understand that what a man can do, I can't.
For sure.
And they are who they are, and I am who I am, and we complement each other. So how he processes pain, how he processes hurt, how he processes shame is very different from how I'm going to process it. And I think that as women, we don't recognize that. We've been telling our boys, don't cry, don't do this, don't do that. I tell my son, cry. You need to cry, you cry.
He's somebody too.
Yes. If you have an emotion, come to me. If I do something to you, because as mothers, sometimes we tend to be a little bit more rough with our sons than we are with our daughters. So if I do something to my son, I used to tell my son, if I'm wrong, you tell me I'm wrong. Tell me, Mom, that wasn't cool. You don't disrespect me, because then it's gonna be a whole different.
People say, see the other side of it.
Yeah, right. that coin will flip so quick it won't even be funny. But yeah, but you can come and I communicate. I have a great relationship with my children when it comes to communication. My children can come to me with anything.
It's important for people to know and be open for their children, because if your children if they can't come to you, they will go to a source that will give them the wrong information. Hopefully you will be equipped enough to give them the right information. Marisa, before we wrap up, there are 3 questions I'd like to ask you. Who's your greatest mentor? And why?
My dad. And because my dad, while he's not perfect, he isn't far from perfect.
No way.
My dad is what I consider a man of integrity. He does things because they're right, not because they're popular, not because he's gonna have a fan base, not because it's gonna come off as something people like. So he'll do it no matter what. So the way he raised us, people might not like the way he does, but he did it because that's the way you do it, and that's the way that worked for him, and that's what I strive for. I don't try to tell anybody how to raise their children. I'm telling you, this is the way I raise mine, and I don't have a problem, so you might want to try some of it.
What is your greatest regret, if you have one?
I try not to live my life in regret. I've made mistakes. Yes. I learned, moved on. I've had hard lessons, like I told you, but I don't regret them, because without those mistakes, I wouldn't be who I am. So I try to tell people, you know what, you're gonna make mistakes. Now, when you make them 1 too many times, that's not a mistake anymore.
It's a habit.
Yeah, so that's where the problem lies.
What is your greatest wish?
That Belize will be what I want it to be, a country where justice is meted out equally, where we have opportunity for our people, and that our people are not so poor in thought, because while they may not be poor, there's a lot of poverty in Belize, but there's not the level of poverty I've seen in many other countries, and I've traveled to many other countries. I don't want us to change how loving we are to each other at times. We're losing that, and I hope we can somehow grab it back. But I still think we need more for us to be not so poor in our mentality, how we think about things and how we see things. Because I feel that of all the countries I've traveled, Belize is home, and no matter what, I don't care who say Belize bad, I love my Belize and I would not want to be anywhere else. But where it is now, I find myself thinking, man, I could have done a way better in another country.
Maybe not. You never
And
know.
yeah.
One more thing. For a woman that's sitting out there that has been beaten down to the point where she doesn't even recognize her own self, but yet she still refuses to leave the bad situation, what would you say to her?
You know, Rhonda, without being on a one-on-one with someone that is in that situation, it's hardly ever anything I can do or say that will blanket cover this situation. I can tell them they can reach me on my Facebook Messenger and let's talk about it one-on-one. And I can help that way. When we try to blanket statements, situations, or do a fix-all for anything, we don't get to it. We can't, because when you're being abused, you look at it and go, well, that's just not my situation. This is my situation and this different and I might have done something wrong, and you can't blanket that. There's no blanket advice to get out because I don't know what you do now. So I can't tell you get out of it. I can tell you get out of it if I know what you're in, because I know how to tell you how to get out of it. I had a situation with one of my friends who was being abused and she had nowhere to go. So how do I tell her to get out? You know where she had to come? Me, my house. Because that's the only option I had at the time. Well, you know what? I can't tell you get out if I can't bring you in. So I tell you get out, come. So we ended up living together for almost a year till I could figure out, till we figured out together how she stay out.
Yeah, and keep her out.
Right, how to stay out, because then that's another thing. Getting out is one thing, staying out is a whole other thing.
Yeah. Marisa, I say thank you for stopping and sharing this
No
morning.
problem.
I fully appreciate it. Guys, welcome to 2020. It's new. Hopefully you will make choices that will impact your life in a positive way. Think about the consequences of your actions, like Marisa says. She has been taught to do. All right? And let this year come for you. Again, Marisa, I say thank you.
You're welcome.
Until next time, we encourage you to take care of yourselves and each other. This is Rhonda along with
Marisa.
Say goodbye.
Dad, you think we can stop there?
Really, Michael?
Yes, girl, trust me. I heard they have free Wi-Fi and they have a big pool and the food is super delicious.
Wow, Michael, you had me at free Wi-Fi.
Okay, kids, stop the fussing. I think me and her mom can use some refreshments. Let's check it out.
Visit Friends of Friends at 46 Dewdrop Estate. Follow the signs from mile 11.5 Northern Highway. Friends of Friends Outback, a walking piece of heaven.